welcome to all of you. Let's do disciplines. Architecture. Hands up. Nice. QS. Fantastic. Real estate. Wonderful. This was a make friends. Who else? Construction management. Yes, very important. Anything else? Civil or engineering? Wonderful. Hire her immediately. The reason I'm doing this is to show you that Vimarambe is this event that we are doing as a national community. We started this event several years ago because the nature of our work isn't by discipline or where you're from. Whatever project you're on, you're going to be landing in an environment with different people coming from different backgrounds, each and every project, and you have to find a way to work together, every single time. And if we don't build a culture about working together from the ground up, how are we going to work together in the field? And Harambee is about that culture. Harambee is a Swahili word that means to pull together. That's what it means. It's the communal spirit for pulling together resources and putting the community in front of you and in front of the individual. And this is very necessary in the built environment because we're not isolated disciplines and we're not isolated practitioners, and every project is a stormy ocean. If you're lucky, you get waves, but most of them are stormy oceans. And no sailboat can row across a stormy ocean with one sailor. We also need to row together. We have to pull together to achieve this. And this is what the spirit of Harambee is about. It's about getting together as a community to do and deliver better work. One of our vehicles is BIM. So the point of today is to make you aware of that you have to be a sailboat going over a stormy ocean, and you have to work together to not sink that ship, so to speak. And that we work for a greater purpose, which is delivering better projects and infrastructure in Africa. And our vehicle is BIM. BIM Community is, I'm also on the board of BIM Community, so are many of your speakers today. We are a voluntary community, national community. This means we don't get paid for anything. We don't spend our extra time on this because we actually believe that we can build a better Africa if we build it together. You can also join this community for free. Everything in this community is free, available to you, resources, people, networks, events, etc. The slogan of this community is to raise the BIM tide. If a wave raises all boats together, and if you raise the BIM tide together, if you raise that wave together, all boats sail well. English is my second language. The other principle we have in this community is that in the built environment, we tend to be very selfish because we are risk averse, we're scared, we've got lots of things to manage. But this doesn't help projects be better and be delivered better. So in BIM Community, we said we are adopting an ethos, a value system, the give principle, which is basically do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And this is very contrary to what you find out in practice, because in practice, it's a very hard world. And the only way to shift that world is to start from your value system. So in BIM Community, we have the give principle, which is be generous, have inspiration, drive from values, and seek out equality. You can read much more about it on the website, and I encourage you to do so that you understand why we're doing this together. BIM Community website has tons of resources. We're actively driving the digital transformation in South Africa and our partners across the continent. And you'll see news and updates, workshops, cadessas, events all the time. If you want to make friends, network, this is your place for doing it. You can join for free anytime. You'll get all the updates across the country and the continent as we do things. Every other year we do BIM Rambe. And we do many events around the country. And this year you also have a free BIM book that explains latest case studies, what's going on in the country around the digital transformation in the built environment, and so on. All of this is available to you. Enjoy it. Today, we are going to speak to you as emerging practitioners. So you're all from different backgrounds, different year groups. Some of you are graduating now or very soon, and we understand that. And we would like to help you understand what BIM means from all of these perspectives. Thank you, Davey. And we'll go through the employability questions and the skills and transformation needs and practice needs of the industry, things that would likely matter to you today. But I do want to put your attention on tomorrow, which is a professional session. I put the posters up for the titles and the speakers, and I'd like you to look at those as you have time to your coffee breaks, see what kinds of people are spending their free time driving the digital transformation of Africa. Look at the work that they do. Look at the things that they're interested in and go and shake hands. It's from across the country, from the Cape Town Twin to BIM construction, etc., etc. I'm not going to read all of them, but I think this is your opportunity to find out about these people, shake hands, and get involved. The reason we do this is because in this world, if you can't work digitally, you can't work. There's no other way. And in school, we can only teach foundational competencies, because we need to get you to be a basic architect, a basic engineer with a basic understanding of how to do your discipline. But the industry demands more, and the industry is digital, and it will not change. So how do you ensure that you are continually relevant, and how do you add value through your 40 to 50 year career that's on your way? Let's take us a big picture review of where we are. Have you heard of the industrial revolutions? Right? Okay. Most of us are in the living world at home in the fourth IR. What I mean by that is you have the internet, you're communicating with machines, you're using tools, and it's an instrument that you use. And this is the initial wave of the industrial shift towards digital practices. But in this world, the 4IR, the human experience and the human in the loop was often left behind. From us in an older generation, we have a very hard experience of knowing how many times humans were taken out of the loop and technology was put in the front. Simultaneously, you've got the 5th IR that is emerging, the 5th industrial revolution. Every single professional that you'll see on that program is actively working in that world, because they are in parallel with the intelligence of computers, machines, instruments, digitization. Without that, they don't work. And you're entering that world. What's coming next is the 6th IR. This is where digital competencies is backgrounded to biological intelligence. This is an emerging front. Few people are talking about it yet because it's on the way. But most of us in professions and practices, and especially in the built environment, is in 4 in immature companies and 5 in mature companies. And I think that matters when you go into the workforce to understand that just as a background to where you are at. What it means, though, is digital and information management is not a side hustle anymore. It's not a specialized skill. It is a foundational standard practice skill. And if you still consider it as a standalone thing, you might miss out on what your career can become. And that's the message I'll leave you with today. So with that in mind, all I'm going to do is introduce you to the content of the day, and then I'll leave it to my expert speakers to indulge you. Message 1. BIM is often understood as by the population, generally the community, as the picture, the image of the thing. That's 10% of the iceberg. Tabelo is going to tell us what 90% of that iceberg really is. And 90% of that iceberg, the point of this, is to drive good decision making at the right time for the right reason. The front round is an image because it communicates better. But the point is to make better decisions collectively. That's what it is about. Then, building information management is just the word because we have no other word. It can also be better information management in the building. That's probably a better way to say it. So Tabella is going to speak to you about that in a lot of detail. Next, we're going to talk about the culture and identity and the environment of a digital practice. You get many kinds of practices, interdisciplinary, whatever. But the digital practice is fundamentally different. What it looks like, how it works, what is going on there, and what the culture and identity of the people in that practice is. So Ronald, Davey, and Michiel Orendaal will explain what to look out for in digital practices. How do you know that you're entering the right kind of place? How do you become a valuable person or a transformation person towards digital practices, etc.? Because if a firm that can't practice digitally doesn't have a long life cycle. All right, the third speaker. So what you'll notice is these speakers are from all different disciplines, all different experience levels. But the third speaker is Amber Friesen. She's a QS, a very, 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 very innovative QS. Welcome, Amber. Thank you for being nervous. And she's going to speak about about the technical side, but the more important side is what kinds of qualities you need and skills you need to be successful in practice. Because the technical side is a piece of it, but there are many, many other things that you have to develop to be relevant and stay relevant and have value add as you go through your career. If the information is the what, the culture is the where, then skills are the how. And she's going to explain a lot more of what she's experienced in her career. She's also closer to you in your generation. She's just graduated, so she's got a fresh perspective of what it means to be an innovative digital practitioner in the world. Thank you, Amber. After that, we are going to talk to Dr. Letitia van der Merwe from the Department of Construction Economics, Real Estate Sciences. She's going to speak about the organization you want to belong to and what kind of organization will enable digital practice delivery, what kind of organization will not. I think this matters a lot because you can either be building your own companies, and if you go in the wrong direction, conceptually and value-based, you might land up in a place where you can't transform into a digital practice. You might also enter practices that need transformation. It's important for you to understand how to enable that. Or you might be looking for a high-performing, mature digital practice, but you don't know what it looks like. So Letitia is going to explain to you how firms behave is actually the important thing to look out for. All right. Next, we're going to have the Association of QS Quantity Surveyors, professional body, to explain how they are transforming the identity of a QS from just a cost-counting instrument to a person who delivers information and value for decisions through them. This is an important shift because it's not just learning tools. It's an entire identity shift from an analog practitioner to a new kind of practitioner, which means many of our old ideas of what an architect, engineer, QS, real estate practitioner is not relevant in the digital world. And we have to actually shift from the digital to be able to manage them. Welcome. Where's you from? Yippee. But then it's not a good idea. So this matters because if you think I'm just doing digital stuff with new tools, but you haven't shifted your core identity to a 21st century practitioner, you might struggle. And it might not, you might struggle for 50 years. And you can avoid that if you understand that you're in a position to lead a new way of industry. And you're at the base of this pyramid, and we encourage you to do it. So that's going to be an interesting talk for you about how your association is also shifting their focus. Finally, Michiel is going to close with what specialization could mean for you. You don't have to specialize, but it can mean a lot for you. Your degree is the floor, but there's no ceiling. What we mean by that is the foundations is given to you, but your career, there's no ceiling to what you can do. And a lot of students think that once they have a degree, that they are good enough to continue for 50 years in a career. And Michiel is going to show you that there's other attitudes and important things to consider to remain relevant, interested, and satisfied in the work that you do as the rapid pace of technology moves forward. Little bit of interesting fact: the average professional practitioner has a 5-year upskilling cycle. Do you know how short that is? Your entire degree, when you finish it, new skills are needed. Now, if you put that in a professional timeline of 50 years of working in this environment, do you see how many times you have to reinvent yourself to remain relevant? And if you don't, you can't participate. So it's not just a world where a degree matters. A degree is step one, because it gets your ticket to the show. But every 3 to 5 years, you are going to have to be an adaptive person so that you remain relevant and that your businesses grow. And I think that's a really important little nugget to remember as you start in this exciting space, that you will have to transform. It is natural, and it will happen. Technology moves faster than you, and we all have to do this together. So Michiel will close with that conversation and explain a bit of how relevance will matter to you as you enter practices and eventually lead your own companies, which we hope you do. So with that, welcome to John Harambe. I'm very happy to see you. I hope you have a great time. I hope you learn a lot, and I hope that you can meet and shake some hands with other colleagues, make friends, build a network, and join the community. Thank you very much.